Oh, I like this look, Lauren. Oh, wait, let me fix my fro. Thank you, Winston Phillip. Hello, hello, and welcome everybody. I am so excited that you have come to join us. I got Winston Phillip on keys, playing so lovely. So welcome to this first night of our 3-day celebration of 10 years of music, movement, and memories with Dance Bmore. I am CJ Phillip, and we are
Dance Bmore.
Dance Bmore. What? All right. So as you can see, we have so many talented friends and family near and far to help us kick off this first night, this Friday night celebrating. And it's all about the Dance Bmore Ensemble tonight. So we are really excited. We're going to have some special performances tonight. We've got some virtual meetups and a few surprises along the way. And of course, there's always lots of laughs. So I hope that you have come to have a good time. But before we do, I want to make sure that you know that you should definitely subscribe and follow Dance Bmore on our Facebook page and Dance Bmore TV because we have stuff happening all weekend. Lauren, if you can put up the slides. Tonight is our Dance Bmore Ensemble. And so you're going to meet a lot of folks tonight and see performances. And then tomorrow at 11 is going to be all about our elders. And so that's going to be 65 and older, doing a little jam session. There are ensemble members and there are elders. And so you're going to see a little demo of a monthly class that we do with our elders online, as well as performances and a music video that we made just for this 10th anniversary with our elders. And that's tomorrow night on YouTube and our Facebook page, Dance Bmore, all about our elders from 11 to 12. Then tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, the young people are going to take over. I'm going to get out the way. And Christian Wills is going to be hosting our behind the scenes of Voices of Carmen at 6. And you're going to see how we made that movie musical. And then at 7 o'clock, we're going to have a full release of the virtual video production of Voices of Carmen at 7. So come and check that out. And then last but not least, our Sunday fun day is dancing and dessert down at Ice Queens. At 12 o'clock, we're going to do some Fazafam family jams, again at 12:15. And then TCG Puppets is going to be down there doing some puppetry and some story time with Miss Melissa. And then we'll close out with a special performance by Dance Bmore Ensemble at 1, all at Ice Queens down on Fort Lee. So come check us out and definitely check out Ice Creams and Desserts are fabulous. And I just think there's no better way to sort of finish a celebration with some dancing and dessert. So that's what we got planned for y'all. So I hope you're ready. And let's get this party started. Hey! Let's
get this party started.
Hey! Yo! Now,
Huh?
I'm going to need you to not drum and lag. Go on mute.
I didn't know who my kill was. I thought I was gonna get a kill or something.
Yo, you wait for warming up, This is me and Winston. Here we go. Let's get this party started. Hey, yo. Let's get this party started. Hey,
Go up. Warm it 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 up. Warm up. Warm it 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 up. Rotate. Some people check out. Warm it up. Warm it up. Warm it up. Warm it up.
Thank you, friends. I think we're warm. I think we're ready. So we are going to start with looking back at a video, one of the first pieces that we ever did. I started Dance Bmore in 2010, and this video is called The Dance Bmore Journey. And we're just going to do the first part of it to give you just a quick history of Dance Bmore and how this all came about. So Lauren, when you are ready, we're going to do the front part of the journey.
Camera rolling.
I founded Dance Bmore in 2010.
That's where our story begins.
I started on this journey with the help of 3 friends.
New York, Florida, Baltimore, friends.
We took our dancing feet out to the street to tell families about a
family that's free.
But hold up, let me tell you about the why. It goes back a year before I arrived. Before I came to Baltimore, was working on a Broadway tour, and all across the country I saw something growing more and more. Distance
between the ages,
disconnection
at every stage is
creating loneliness and isolation in a real time. The degradation of relationships between mankind is tearing at a psyche and society. We'll find the human race was not designed. Our elders, they were not designed. You and I were not designed for distance
between the ages,
disconnection
at every stage
All right. Thank you so much, guys. And thank you, Lauren, for the video. Props to help me tell the story. So our folks first are going to hang out with us, our original company members, Saran, Everly, and Marcia.
Hi, everybody.
And Winston.
How's it going? 10 years in the making.
So it's good to see y'all. How you feeling?
That was so cool.
10 years older. Yes.
So what do you think? Because you just danced that for us real quick this last week, and then you just saw it for the first time. Tell me, what you think?
I mean, this has been a really awesome, exciting, full circle experience. I didn't actually know it had been 10 years. So, So it's exciting to come full circle with the company that, the three friends that you rallied from around the country are able to be all here and participate and just be a part of this journey with you. So thank you so much for putting this on despite the pandemic and everything else and just fighting for the connection. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you, lovely. So for those who don't know, when I say New York, Florida, Baltimore friend, Saran is the New York friend, Everly's the Florida friend, and Marcia is the Baltimore friend, who were the original company members that helped me with to form Dance Bmore. Everly, am I getting feedback? Who is that? Saran's like, I'm the only one unmuted and might be mad.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I remember sleeping on your couch on Preston Street because pretty much, CJ and Winston wooed me to Baltimore City through performances, and all of a sudden I was on a bus moving into Baltimore, and they were like, "Oh, I have this job for you, and you can also do Dance Bmore." And so it's crazy. Who knew I would have been in this state of Baltimore, Maryland for 10 years? But it's been great. Met a lot of people. The evolution of the company. It's been great to contribute choreography works to Dance Bmore. And just work through injuries. I didn't even get to perform in the first performance because of my injury. But it's just been a great journey. And Dance Bmore definitely allows many people just to be themselves and just to explore their bodies at whatever stage it's in. It's not the typical, ballerina, modern dancer. It's just you come with your heart, you come with your energy, and let your light shine. How's it going, Marcia?
It's good. Yeah, I remember just really praying because when I was in Baltimore before any of you were in Baltimore. So I was there first, and I just remember because obviously I was born in I was born actually in New York, but I was raised in Baltimore. So my family was there. And so after college, I just had all these dreams and hopes of dancing in a company. And I just kept praying, God, please, I really want to be in a dance company. And then the company came to me. I didn't have to audition or go anywhere. I just, all of a sudden, Dance Bmore was there. And it was just so, it was really cool how it just kind of all worked out. So that's how I remember it for myself.
Yeah, definitely those three magic words got us there. So check it. So check it. The three magic words of "so check it" got us from all over the country and brought us to Baltimore. But it's been a really amazing ride, and I'm so grateful to be able to dance with three of you again tonight.
Awesome.
Congrats to the newcomers and to the new works that you've developed. And I've seen Voices of Carmen at different stages, and it's really great to see how evolved and how many programs have been added on to Dance Bmore.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
the next 10 years.
So I wanted Lauren to cue up a piece. One of the very first pieces that we did was called The Birth. And for me, it was so much about birthing this new idea, this new project, this new company. So she's going to share a little excerpt of that performance that features some of y'all.
Dance Bmore is a new contemporary dance company with a very strong commitment to community engagement. In our performance pieces, we have a very wide and eclectic style and range of movement, very theatrical in nature. We fuse many creative disciplines together on stage, from spoken word to live vocals, instrumentation, original music, visual arts. The piece we presented is called The Birth. It's a work in progress, asking the question of when is our creativity born? When do we become or start to birth that sense of being a writer, of being a poet, of being a singer, of having these talents and these gifts that come to you? And at what point are those things birthed, nurtured, fostered, and grow into who we are going to be as artists? There's always a positive and negative force that pulls on us regardless of our gifts. And how does that affect us? How does that affect the people around us that we are creative with, that we collaborate with? And where does that pull us? Using a mother of creativity to nurture and care for those children, and then seeing what happens when they go out to discover themselves and other forces are at work pulling on them in one way or another.
So I'm curious, what memories come to mind when you think about that piece or that first concert we did?
I was just watching like, oh, is that me? Right there? It's so cool to see the work and to remember those feelings of being on stage and connecting. And it was also very interesting seeing all of this happening, all of that touch. I'm like, ooh.
Ah, yes.
Soon, you know, soon we will be back having that kind of connection. But again, that makes it so much more awesome that we are connecting in the ways that we can right now.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely remember the fabric. I remember behind the scenes before it even went to stage, just the different materials that were being used and people getting caught in it. I think we were, I guess the company was rehearsing at, what is it, the Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, and just different places. And
yes,
it was just very open. I remember I had my little Metro Geo car too. It was like this little green car that I tried to hear with. But anyway, yeah, I just remember a lot of the fabric and the rehearsals.
And the writing. Didn't we have to write a lot for CJ? Did we have this like exploration? Like we'd sit down and like actually journal and take notes on what things meant to us. I'm having these flashbacks of having a journal at the Boys and Girls Club or the Girl Scouts, and just writing what the birth meant, writing what these pieces meant and how they resonated. Just to kind of piggyback what you said earlier, Saran, about the different modalities that are brought in. It's not just dance. It's dance, it's voice, it's whatever artistry you've got, whatever instrument you play, you can find a way to use it in the company.
Yeah, I think I just remember, first of all, not knowing what the piece was about. And normally that's how it happens when a choreographer starts creating things. Like they never tell you what it is. You're like, okay, so you're trying to figure out what it means. So for the longest time, I was just, trying to recreate this, I guess, for me was a very like almost a different world, a different planet almost in a way. And then I found out what it was, like the piece was about, and just remembering how I could like embody that as well and incorporate all of that. So for me, it was definitely trying to like find who I was within the piece. And so for me, I felt like I grew as an artist, when it came to trying to think, okay, like what does the choreographer want, but then also like what does the piece mean to me, and then finding out what it actually means. I think the whole developmental process there was really interesting, but the parts just being under that sheet and then coming out like, this, like this creature, and like that was the thing, like nobody knew, like those little inside jokes and those little moments that were so special. And like, if you're when you're in that moment, like you have those things to like hold dear to you and to be able to look back on. So I think that's really cool because the audience doesn't know that part. Like they don't know what's going on. And sometimes like you're really focused and you're thinking, but sometimes maybe you do loosen up a little bit and you're in your little, especially during rehearsals. And then all of a sudden it's like, all right, now we're going to like really dance. So you just never know. It's a mystery.
I just remember as the singer, y'all were all under my skirt, and some days I would hear like like all this talking. I was like, what's happening down there? And then I remember this one time we did the piece for a choreography competition, but it was super bare. And so when you do it as a performance, everything you go in the dark. When it comes up, it just looks like this sort of, goddess like woman with this big skirt on. And then there's people that come out from underneath, and it's interesting. Well, we were doing this choreo, and it was just like in an auditorium. And so we all had to like come out, and I'm like,
It's like that part from the Nutcracker.
Yes, yes, that's the one.
trying to be mystical and magical. And I was like, and these dolls had the nerve enough to say, what did they say? It was a little awkward at the top. Yeah, turn the lights out. Of course it was awkward.
Yes.
Coming
It's always so
right
smooth.
All right, so we have a couple of games to play with questions that only you would know. And Lauren's going to be our game master and help us out with this, because I have no idea. Some Q&A from the past 10 years, taking a little walk down memory lane. What are some of the games we have and questions for them? Remember when, way back when, remember when, I remember when. All right. What was our rehearsal location for the first year, and what was it for the second year?
Girl Scouts.
What, the Boy Scouts?
No,
Yeah, the Girl
but
Scouts.
I remember, didn't we also rehearse at this church as well sometimes?
Yes, on St. Paul Street.
Yeah.
Yes.
20
Paul
Street
Street.
at St. Paul Street. And then when we got like our first, like, this is where we're at home, was the Girl Scouts of Central Maryland. And I remember we only have rehearsal once a week, but they were long. And so I would make dinner.
Yes.
And we would have dinner together between rehearsal.
Yeah. It was like really yummy, like fruit and snacks and stuff.
And potato surprise.
I remember apples.
I remember strawberry. Like I was snagging all the strawberry. Like little thieves.
And what was the second location? Do you remember where we were after Girl Scouts of Central Maryland?
Was that downtown here, like Mount Vernon area, in that Pilates studio?
True Balance.
True Balance.
Yeah, I do remember rehearsing there.
Yeah, so the first was Girl Scouts of Central Maryland, and the next was True Balance. Next question, please.
I feel good about this. So good.
Where was the ensemble's first Elder Arts performance?
At the library. No? Yes? I said it with someone. No. What's the name of that senior center? The V something. It begins with a V.
It was a senior center.
It was in there. Isn't it? It's right here, not too far away from us here.
It was where, Lori?
Charles Village. Isn't Charles Village, right?
Go to the next slide. The Wax.
Okay, the Wax is the X, and an X is close to V in the alphabet.
No, Lauren, Everly, you were close, because we also worked with elders at the J. Van Story branch. Yes. Let's go to one more question. Where was our first elder public performance? Do you remember? I don't know that any of you were a part of that, but you might remember. So we're going to save this for the next crew, Lauren. All right. I want to thank Marcia and Saran for hanging out with us. Everly's going to stay because she's going to do a performance later, but it was so great to see y'all and watching online.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye.
We're going to take a look at a video from our second season. And our second season was a piece that we were doing called Voices and Choices. And in this season, we started to unpack. Hi, Desmond. Desmond was a part of our next season as a drummer. And we started to work with local spoken word artists and start to listen to their work and see what resonated with us and how we could create pieces. But one of the things, do you remember anything about how we were working in that process? I don't want to give it all away. if you remember something. So what I specifically was trying to do with the company is practice improv and keep it improvisational by never memorizing the poem. By never getting so familiar with it that you knew what was going to be said next. So we would work on a piece for a while in an evening, and then we would drop it, and we wouldn't work on it for a couple of weeks. And the dancers would be like, "But could you just send me the line?" No, no. Could you just? And I'm like, "Nah, no." We really wanted to feel visceral, and that was a really interesting experience. Half of the company felt super comfortable with improv, and the other half was like, "I feel like a fish out of water." And I'm curious as to what that was like for y'all in those days. The
Yeah.
Choices concert.
Oh, go ahead, Des.
No, I forgot all about Voices and Choices, and then all I remember are the whispers. Voices,
Oh,
choices.
and that's Heidi. And it'd be amazing if Amy is here. Please bring her in. But let's watch the Voices and Choices video because I feel like it has been 10 years. And sometimes I need the visual to be like, yeah, what was that? So if we could see that video, Lauren, that'd be great. Thanks everybody who's watching and who joined us. Hopefully somebody's chatting with you in the chat and you don't feel like you're being ignored. Huh? So Tiny, where are you coming in from?
I'm in South Florida.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. A little buffering. I'm gonna have Winston play a little serenade during these empty spots just to keep the mood going while we buffer. I call this the buffer cabaret.
That's something about Winston I always respected. Just you'd be like, Winston, play something, okay?
Thank you, Win. We're bringing it down to a close. We need sound, Lauren.
A night of dance immersed in dynamic vocal arrangements of both voice and spoken word.
Look at me. Yes, me. The plump little sister with the pretty face. That's always the compliment to the big boned girl.
Remember that?
She's got a pretty face.
Dance Bmore amplifies the many voices that influence the choices you make. Join us Sunday, May 6, 6:30 p.m. at Creative Alliance as Dance Bmore presents Voices and Choices.
I remember that.
Yes.
Now I remember that dope poem that the mayor did.
Way back when. So tell us, what do you remember?
I really loved Voices and Choices. It's one of my favorite pieces from the company and one of my favorite memories from the company. And I think it was because it was such a purposeful and intentional break on your part, like, because we've had pieces that were so technical, and you have to do this at this moment on this beat or it's wrong, and all 20 of you have to hit it at the same time. We've had those moments in pieces before, but then this one was so far in the other direction where you just asked us to listen and just really be in the moment and be present. And that was actually a challenge for me because I find comfort in a lot of structure. I find comfort in a lot of structure. And so but I ended up loving the piece because it challenged me as an artist so much. And it asked me to, it required me to just be in the space. And when I watched the video, I'm really just experiencing it because it was so improvisational. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that one time. Yeah, it was cold, so my leg went that way instead of that way. That was interesting. I'm experiencing it with you, as opposed to something more structured like our Send Me pieces, where the music plays and we know exactly what to do at that exact moment. So,
okay. Yeah, I really appreciate that. What about you, Tiny? We'd love to hear from you.
So, as you can imagine, Be More or Less was obviously very meaningful and impactful in my life. And so Voices and Choices and Be More or Less, both where it was spoken word and movement, being able to express myself in a new manner. I mostly came from a classically trained background, but having the opportunity to audition for you and for you to really see me and value what you felt I had to bring to the table was life-changing for me. It brought a validity that I hadn't experienced before. And working on that solo and like honing in with Damaris and kind of those little moments for impact and growing as each performance went on, it really was life-changing for me. So definitely my experience was one that has lasted, through these last 10 years with me.
Oh, awesome. As you say that, Tiny, I just remember that every time you did that piece, there was so much depth and so much growth and so much like deep diving that I could see that you were doing personally, that it literally like left my hands. And I was like, this is her piece. And I'm just gonna watch it. And I even remember us having a conversation because I like writing. I enjoy writing, and I write a lot of spoken word, and sometimes I write for other people's voice, and I wasn't sure if this was authentic to your voice. And you really helped me to understand how much it resonated with you, and that gave me a lot of confidence. And I remember I wanted to call you when we did this piece up in Albany, and there was a woman in the front row who literally was in tears and was like, I want to take this entire piece and bring it to my daughter and set it in front of her like an offering. And I was like, what? I've never gotten that feedback before. So I loved the way that you took such care of this work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was an honor. And like you said, it for the first time as a dancer, and I had started dancing when I was 8. It was the opportunity to really be myself and go through that process, and not in an environment where I was being put down or judged. It was the opposite. It was you allowed me the freedom to grow and to be my best self every time. So I'm eternally grateful.
Oh, we love you, Tiny.
Love you guys.
So we're going to do a little excerpt of Voices and Choices, and I'm going to bring out some other friends to help us out with that. Lindsay is going to be doing a piece called Present Tense, and the way that Voices and Choices works is it frames spoken word pieces, and we interchange different pieces for different times and moments, and different things that we want to speak about. And so Lindsay's going to this piece with me, and I think the rest of folks are going to go backstage, and maybe we have video with us as well, Lauren. I don't know. I keep checking my pro. I got like this one little like pro fly going on over there. All right. Voices, choices, voices and choices. Voices, choices. It was spring, but it was summer I wanted. The warm days and great outdoors. It was summer, but it was fall I wanted. The colorful leaves and the cool, dry air. It was fall, but it was winter I wanted. The beautiful snow and the joy of the holiday season. It was winter, but it was spring I wanted. The warmth and the blossoming of nature. I was a child, but it was adulthood I wanted. The freedom and respect. RESPCT. I was 20, but it was 30 I wanted. To be mature and sophisticated. I was middle aged, but it was 20 I wanted. The youth and the free spirit. I was retired, but it was middle age I wanted. The presence of mind with no limitations. My life was over, and I never got what I wanted. Voices, choices, voices and choices. Bravo! Thank you, Lindsay. So, Lindsay, tell me about your experience with Voices and Choices. You joined the company a few years ago, and sort of what's it been like for you coming into this artistic community?
Yeah, it's been wonderful for me. It was kind of like what Marcia was saying earlier. It was sort of like what I was looking for, but didn't even know it. It just sort of appeared, and I was like, oh, I was looking for a company where I could move based on my body and how my life is going, and then also the ability to teach, which has been really fantastic, and doing like different programs, and it just sort of married all of my experiences. And this piece in particular, I really love because choreography is not my strong suit. Like the memorizing and all of that is not for me, but improv is. And so I really love just the freedom, as we were saying before, the freedom of it, and that yeah, it makes me question, it makes me deep dive every time we do this piece. So I really, really enjoy it.
Nice. Awesome. It's great working with you, Lindsay. I there is such a passion and oh wait, I can say this. Chutzpah.
Yeah, exactly.
Jewish. When you move, that is always really captivating to me. So it's always wonderful. And you're such a wonderful teaching artist. Our kids are so lucky to work with you and to have you. We are going to switch gears and give you an opportunity to catch your breath and take a look at some testimonials with Lauren. Lauren, if you don't mind, I'll go backstage too. We can just watch. You're doing a great job.
How would you describe Dance Bmore? Someone who never heard of it.
I would say it's a cultural experience.
Dance Bmore is all about a connection.
Dance Bmore is a collective of both performing and teaching artists that do a lot of old things in a lot of areas.
Dance Bmore is more than just a dance company. It's an opportunity to reach out to the community, an opportunity to serve in a way that I've never been able to serve. When we're performing, CJ is always encouraging us to look at each other and listen for the reverence of the audience so we can connect to them. It is an experience because, there's spoken word, there's dancing.
One person doing hip hop, another person doing tap.
There's drumming, it's hip hop, it's lyrical, it's ballet, it's all these kind of different things, and you never know what to expect. And most importantly, it's fun.
I bring laughter. I bring a lot of great energy. I bring a lot of
Hey, we're back. So, I think we have a special guest, which is a surprise. I wasn't sure if she was going to be able to make it, but it's Dee Dee.
Oh my goodness.
Some other folks out here. We're going to play some games and tell some stories. What's up, Kristen? What's up, Dylan? What's up?
Hi, Damaris.
Hi.
What's up, Dee Dee?
Hi.
So if you were with us earlier, you heard this beautiful melodious voice singing our Dance Bmore journey, and that was Damaris, who's been with the company from the very beginning. And Damaris, what are some of your earliest memories of Dance Bmore? And then we're gonna play a game.
Okay, so I remember that huge FAM party that we had at the 2640 space. It was like a circus in there. Yeah, it was. There's just so many cool things that we got to do back then. Connecting with the community. I remember, Christy. Oh, sorry. Hi. Okay. No. I remember. I think it's funny because every time I think of like the family gym, I think about Rebecca because she was our first our first little favorite kid, that was participating, and that memory I think speaks the loudest about Dance Bmore, just because it's so community based. It's like, yeah, dancing is cool, but why are we doing it if it's not helping someone? So I love that, and I'm a dancer in my heart. See, so I was super encouraged to be able to be part of a dance company. It's the most fun thing I could have done. So yeah.
Cool. I want to play a clip of our next season, which was all the way live. But I want to ask, while Lauren is setting up that clip, who remembers that concert we did up in Albany? And what do you remember from the Albany concert? Wait, there's trauma. I see trauma.
Is that the one where you were like, so check it, Evelyn, you're going to be background singing for Damaris. So I was like,
I forgot I asked you to do that. Okay, Christy, let's get Christy.
Oh my goodness.
First performance in Dance Bmore. She had just joined the company.
Yeah.
As publicly, I would just like to say, I'm so sorry.
I will say the performance was kind of a blur because we just had so much going on, and there was it was just really quick. So getting all the pieces, our costume changes, putting everything where we needed it. I remember it went fine. What I remember more was all the time we spent in the car together. I remember Everly teaching me a game that was I know what that is. I still play that sometimes to myself. I don't know if you even remember that, but Roma tomato.
That's the Marisonites game. Yes. Yes.
Oh my God. I forgot about
blur. And I also remember my husband taped all of it on our iPad and our cell phone, like from the house. So those are the things I remember. It was just, yeah, it's kind of a blur. Oh, and you made me sing. You were like, well.
Oh, she made you sing too?
When I choreographed this, you like did that arrangement. I can't remember what it was like, the powerful woman or something, and you were like, well, the girls sang it, so that's your track, you'll be singing it. And I was like, well, yeah, well, kind of, you have to have a voice. When I say you're always trying to make me more talented than I am, like, that's what I mean. You're like, just follow Everly.
And I always tell people, I was like, you know, at Dance Bmore, we blur the lines. The singers dance, like, not really voluntarily though. Like, you get coaxed into it. And you're like, I'm singing. How did I start singing? I guess I'm singing.
And you know that.
Yep, in the heat of the moment.
Wait. But I think I like. I'm kind of.
Didn't Desmond almost fall off the stage?
Probably.
I did almost fell. My glasses broke, and I was like, okay, I can do it without my glasses. I'm good. So we're at the part when CJ was like, so hot. And I started dancing, and I didn't realize the space between the stage and the seats. And I was doing like this, and I jumped up, and I felt my foot, and I was like, oh! And I backed up, and I was like, Lord, my first performance out here in Albany, they're going to remember the one dude that fell off stage acting crazy. So yeah, I remember that. I remember that real well. And while we were in Manhattan, almost got hit by a taxi. So yeah.
So one of the things, so that was a pivotal performance for me. Damaris, you tell a story. What you laughing at?
I'm laughing at Desmond.
What?
No, I do remember him almost falling off the stage. His glasses broke, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, friend. Like, he had to go without his glasses in that mess. It was just hilarious.
So two things, and I think, you know what I would love to see, actually, this performance where Marcia and Christy do All the Way Live. So if you can start that, Lauren. So the thing that was really helpful, I thought that concert was a disaster. Like, I was like, and I very rarely get like, you know, like shame or whatever about. I'm like, yeah, it was what it was, you know. Blah, blah, blah. But I was like, yo, that was crazy. There was no lights backstage, so that was part of the issue. Is we were like changing costumes and bumping into each other, and like it was just so hard. It was dark, and we were doing the best we could, but the backstage was less than this.
That performance was All the Way Live.
There was no space and there was no light, and we were trying to figure it out. Yes, but we need your performance, Lauren. And but I remember the audience was really engaged. And afterwards, and we were in our hometown, my hometown, upstate New York. We were supposed to do a talk back, and I was like, I ain't doing no talk back. That was trash. I was like, I'm not going out there. I'm not talking to nobody. And my mother gave me the tight lip. She's like, you gonna go out here. You go talk to. I said to be a you go. And so I was like, okay. So I went out because my mama said so. And we did the talk back. And that's when the woman said to me about Be More or Less. I wish I could bring this whole thing and lay it at my daughter's feet. That's when up in the corner, there was a whole group of college guys who was like, you have no idea how much we need you. Like, wow. I needed to hear that. And I sat there and I listened to what people were saying. And it was the first time it literally turned the corner for me that I started to realize what it is that we even bring. I was like, I didn't get us. I mean, I know what we were trying to say things and be socially conscious, but I didn't understand the profound impact in the way it was connecting with people until I gave them an opportunity to share that with us. And it made such a difference. And then from then on, it was always like, let's talk to the audience. Let's connect with them more. How can we engage and have this resonate with them for their life? And not just for a moment in a performance to sit down and think, oh, that was nice, and you walk out the door. So for me, it was game changing in that way. right before it was fairly traumatizing. But we're going to see a little excerpt of Christy and Marcia crushing it, and watch for the one lady fan who was like, yeah. Hey, beautiful work. All right, so we're gonna see Miss Dee Dee doing her thing in our next video. This was our all the way live season, and this is where we just decided, hey, let's do a concert and an album. Because we're not doing enough. We need to do the most. So we did a whole full concert that was at Theater Project. And along with the pieces, I wrote a bunch of songs for most of the pieces. And then those songs were an album that you could buy right after the concert. And so that concert was called All the Way Live. And here's our promo for it. All right. Any guys got any memories from those times, the all the way live times?
Yeah. First of all, I'm looking at my hair and I'm like, Desmond, what's going on out here?
In these streets.
Oh my goodness. It's struggling out here in these streets. Mayonnaise sandwiches. I really enjoyed that show. One, because I was able to bring my coworkers to the show. I was reaching out to my coworkers and I always told them like, yeah, I'm a part of the dance company and stuff like that. And they didn't believe me. So I was like, you want to come to a show? And the fact that they came and they were in the front row, that was really cool. And this is crazy. I actually still have photos in my phone from that performance. Just bare feet the entire time, feet black. I remember that piece that Ray did. That was really, really good. I remember when CJ, you made me be the fake DJ. Just nothing plugged in or nothing. Just put this hoodie on and go over there and stand there. Act like you doing something.
So
so I got a hoodie on with pants and do like this. And what's funny about it, my coworkers was like, "Yo, you really do DJ?" Nah, fam, that's all staged. Uh, so, but no, that entire show that was a lot. That was a lot of fun because not only was I able to play drums, but I was also able to dance. So that was real cool.
yeah, I remember we had hula hoops on stage and fabric, and Kelvin was a guest artist. That was Zalika from Destiny of Harlem came and did a piece. We had a live band on stage. Tammy Lee Hughes was playing violin. Damaris was singing, and I remember Raymond came down and we did a piece, and we were like, we were all questioning ourselves after one rehearsal with Raymond. We were like, do I even dance? Like, what am I doing?
And I never even danced professionally. And I looked at him like, I don't think I should ask CJ to dance. I shouldn't even.
It's very humble. So it was a good times. So I have a little game for us. It's called the All the Way Live Groove and Go. So anybody else who's backstage can play this game with us. So this is how it goes. Winston's gonna play a little All the Way Live. And remember when I got to the bridge and it was the so hype and so live? I would go, so high, so live. That's how I'm built to survive. And then I was faster, so hype, so live. That's how I'm built to survive. This beat that creates to be alive. So hype, so live. That's how I'm built to survive. This beat that creates keeps me alive. So live. So this is how the game goes. Thank you. So if your box gets big, it's your turn. Boom. To get so hyped, so live. And then we go back to just the sort of groove. But when your box is big, you go. You go in. All right? Everybody clear? Yes. Roll it out. Don't hurt nothing. All right. All the way live. 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 Got to be wanna be so live. That's how I'm built to survive. So hype, so loud. That's how I'm built to survive. Be alive. So hype, so loud. That's how I'm built to survive. This beat will be created. So loud. Hey, that's how I'm built to survive. Oh, so hot, so loud. That's how I'm built to survive. This beat should be created that keeps me alive. So hot, so loud. That's how I'm built to survive. This beat should be created that keeps me alive. So high, so loud. That's how I'm built to survive. All right, Perry. So high, so loud. That's how I'm built to survive. This beat should be created that keeps me alive. So high, so loud. That's how I'm built to survive. This beat should be created that keeps me alive. So loud. One more. That's how I'm built to survive. Hey, so high, so loud. That's how I'm built to survive. This beat's gonna be creativity keeps me alive. So high, so loud. That's how I'm built to survive. This beat's gonna be creativity keeps me alive. So high, so loud. That's how I'm built to survive. Cause we're all the way live. Not with me. Not with me. Not with me. Live, 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 live. Got to build a build. Very fun. Y'all are great. Y'all so talented. Mm. All right, so we are going to wrap up here with a final performance. And this piece has been choreographed by the one and only Everly. And yes, we're just going to sort of prepare ourselves. This was in um, really the season just before Everly moved from Baltimore. And we were working a lot with our elder ensemble. And so the Dance Bmore Elder Ensemble are those who are 60 and over. And we were doing concert pieces with the company in combination with our elder ensemble. And one of the things that kept coming up was just how much changes over time. And so I was sort of playing around with this song and with this piece. And then I asked Everly if she wouldn't mind creating something. And at that time, she had just become a mom, and there were so many changes in her life, and it really resonated with her. And so she created Change, which you will see and we'll close out with. Thanks, Everly. Bravo, bravo. Wonderful work from both Everly and Christy. Thank you so much for that piece. And on vocals, I believe that was Valerie Lewis and myself from a performance of Change that we did a few years back. So we are at the hour mark for our Dance Bmore 10th anniversary reunion, and I want to thank everybody for joining us and bring all our folks back out and see if we have any questions from our viewing audience. It might just be my mama, but she probably got a question. And then my question for you is, when you think about, we're now going into our 10th season, and I want to welcome Joelle and Perry to the Dance and Be More family as we begin this season with new dancers. And when you think about sort of the obstacles that we've seen, the obstacles that we've had, I've this year seen so many of those obstacles turn into opportunities that have been really surprising to me. But what could we imagine? And how do we reimagine what a season looks like? Many people aren't having their season because of where we are in the world today. But I just thought about it and I was like, well, as long as we're here, we can be dancing. We can be singing. We can be making music. We can be creating. We can be connecting and meeting together in meaningful ways. And that's what we're here for. And so I said, let's go ahead and have this 10th season. It may be a little different. And we've done a lot of our rehearsals virtually. But even in that, I think we're going to discover how to meet new needs. So I'm wondering what y'all are thinking, any ideas or thoughts that you have about entering the 10th anniversary season in the times that we are in.
I think that art is still so necessary, right? Like you just said, like the show, I feel like in a way, like the show must go on. We still have our need to connect. We still have our need to see beautiful things, to continue to be creative, to continue to let those juices flow, especially when life can feel like stagnant or challenging. So I really appreciate the fact that we're continuing to rise to these challenges, because people still need to connect, and we can use this medium like to continue to do that for people.
Mm-hmm.
I think one thing that's always been such a huge part of Dance and Be More is accessibility and reaching audiences. And I think digital platform allows even a greater expansion of that and has proven to do so throughout these times with the arts. So I think it's an awesome opportunity to find a way to reach people that you might not have been able to reach before.
Any other thoughts or ideas?
I mean, I really love having the space to dance in my home, but with other people, because I think when everything shut down, like and a lot of people that I talked to had a really hard time being creative and had a hard time moving, and I had a hard time sort of keeping up with things. But since we've been coming back to rehearsal, since we've been doing this, and like seeing this right now is so inspiring. It just, you don't feel alone anymore, dancing in your little corner.
Well, thank you all for sharing. As we close out, we started with a piece called DAB Journey, and we're going to show that video. But just as a reminder, Lauren, if you could put up our flyer for the rest of the weekend so folks can join us for the rest of the party. So tonight was our Dance Bmore Ensemble hangout, reunion, meet up, some performances. And tomorrow at 11 o'clock, you will see our Elder Arts Jam from 11 to 12. We have a music video that the elders have performed and created that will debut. And you'll also get to see sort of what we do in our monthly Elder Jam. So if you are over 65 or you have a parent or a friend who's over 65, you definitely want to invite them, engage them in that, because that's free and every month, and they can hang out with us. Really exciting news that we're going to announce tomorrow about our Elder Arts Jam as well, talking about accessibility. And then tomorrow night is about our teens, 6 p.m. Christian Wills is going to host our behind the scenes and the making of Voices of Carmen. And we're going to go way back to like Zurich, Switzerland, Carmen, all the way up to the first time we did the workshops in Baltimore, all the way till this year, where we did a virtual Voices of Carmen. And then at 7, we are going to premiere the virtual video production of Voices of Carmen that is fully edited. And then Sunday is our live performance and live engagement down at Ice Queens. It's called Dancing and Dessert. And at 12 o'clock, we will have some FAZAFAMs spread out 6 feet apart. And 12:30, TCG Puppets will do a special performance. And then last but not least, Dance Bmore Ensemble. If you want to see present tense live or some other performances live, we'll be doing those live down at Ice Queens on Sunday. And the desserts are delicious. So you definitely want to come and get a little bit of that. Let's go back to our screen because I said that I would close out sort of how we started, which is one of our first programs was the FAZAFAM. And that's where we took the dancing feet out to the street to tell families about a FAZAFAM and it's free. But hold up, let me tell you about the why. It goes back again before I arrived. Before I came to Baltimore, was working on a Broadway tour, and all across the country I could something growing more and more. Distance between the ages, disconnection at every stages, creating loneliness and isolation in real time. The degradation of relationships between mankind, tearing at our psyche and society. Will find the human race was not designed. Our elders, they were not designed. You and I were not designed for distance, disconnection. Des, why don't you take it a little bit? Drum for us, brother man. Yeah. All right. Woohoo! I love it. I love it. I've actually grown accustomed to dancing in these boxes. I like it. Well, thank you all so very much for joining us for the Dance Bmore Ensemble Hangout. And I hope that you, hey, Kristen! It's all right. I hope that you will join us for the rest of the weekend and definitely subscribe to Dance Bmore TV so you don't miss any of the fun going on this weekend. And also follow us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. We are starting our season. We are in rehearsals. We are creating pieces. We don't have a schedule where it's like press to get something done. We're going to create something when we feel good about it. We're going to say, hey, we're going to perform this. You want to come see it? And we will present this out as we go. This year, 2020, has enough pressures, and we're just going to be creative with no pressures. And so thank you all so much again for joining us. I think Lauren's going to do a quick little click of our video. It's about 5 or 6 minutes long. We can just sort of hang out and mingle and talk in the chat as we watch the whole history of Dance Bmore. Good night, everybody. Run the video, Lauren. And thank you, Lauren, for working so hard behind the scenes. You rock.
Thank you.
I founded Dance Bmore in 2010. That's where our story began. I started on this journey with the help of 3 friends. New York, Florida, Baltimore. We took the dancing feet out to the street to tell families about a FAZAFAM and it's free. But hold up, let me tell you about why. It goes back a year before I arrived. Before I came to Baltimore, I was working on a Broadway tour, and all across the country I saw something growing more and more. Distance between the ages, disconnection at every stage. Creating loneliness and isolation in a real time. The degradation of relationships is tearing out of psyche and society. Will find the human race was not designed. Our elders say we're not to decide. Even I would not decide. But to stay this connection. I created Dance Bmore to connect people and create meaningful human connections at every age and stage. And that's why we took the dance beat out to the street, tell families about Fast Families Free. Welcome everybody to Dance Bmore Family Jam here at 2640 States. I'm CJ Phillip and we are Dance Bmore. We'd like to teach you our theme song and dance, so just follow along. Dance Bmore fit and fun. Dance Bmore fit and fun. The good times have just begun. The good times have just begun. Dance Bmore fit and free. Dance Bmore fit and free. Dance Bmore for families. Dance Bmore for families. All right, y'all sound real good. That's how we began the Family Jam. We had games, music, dancing, and families from all walks of life. In 2011, we got our first free fall vault program, and our classes grew from a dozen students to 20, 30, 40. We learned so much from those first families who helped shape this program. As we asked questions, they gave us such great feedback that helped us grow. And the comment we heard the most: we sing these songs all week long. Do you have a CD? So we wrote more songs and released a CD under our new name, Fast Fam. Families were the focus of our community engagement. And in the studio, the Dance Bmore Ensemble developed socially conscious performance pieces that were interactive and empowering. Our ensemble performed throughout Baltimore and DC and New York, including the Waxter Center for Senior Citizens. During our visit, we discovered our Family Jam games and songs loved by 5-year-olds were a hit with 65-year-olds. So we redesigned our family dance class for an older crowd, and our Elder Arts program was born. In 2012, I met with elders at the James Story Branch Apartments in Station York Arts and Entertainment District. We volunteered a few times a year, and in 2014, we were part of a National Endowment of the Arts plan that helped us pay our teaching artists for bi-weekly classes an entire year. We shared so many songs and stories and memories with the senior residents there, and they have forever changed the way I see elders in my community and in the arts. Now we were focused on families and elders in community programs. These were 2 pillars of our work those first 5 years. Then in 2016, I was invited to become a Robert W.H. Fellow. With this fellowship came every choreographer's dream: space to rehearse and call home at the Motor House. I used the fellowship funds to hire an administrator. This lady right here changed the game. Managing our new office, teaching artists, partners, paperwork. Oh, the paperwork. I was able to focus on our people, programs, and purpose. Everything was strengthened and growing. 10 teachers grew to 21 teachers. 8 classes a month grew to 31 classes a month. And 2 programs grew to 4 programs: FASFAM, Elder Arts, After School Partnerships, and AMCAM. In 2018, we launched our 5th and final program, Voices of Carmen.
Throughout all our performances and programs over the years, our mission remains the same: to create meaningful human connections through the arts for communities and individuals at every age and stage of life. And our mantra, inspired by our elders, is what we teach in all of our programs and what we share with you today. Repeat after me. This is a creative space.
This is a creative space.
A shade-free space.
A shade-free space.
The shade blocks my light.
The shade blocks my lights.
And my light shines bright.
And my light shines bright.
I will not hinder my light. And I celebrate your light.
And I celebrate your light.
The light within you shines.
The light within you shines.
Brightens our hearts and our minds.
It brightens our hearts and our minds.
Thank you for joining us for this 10th anniversary celebration and being a part of the music, movement, and memories of Dance Bmore. Thank you, Lauren, for working so hard on that amazing video. You are a tremendous, beautiful unicorn, amazing person. Yay.
Go, Lauren.
Unicorn. I gotta tell you, it was kind of weird putting in that part about myself. I was like, this is gonna sound a little arrogant, Lauren.
Well, at least I wrote it because you did. You changed it.
You wrote it.
All right. Well, have a great rest of your night, and hopefully you can hang out with us on one of these other virtual or live events. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Play some music. Oh, celebrate your life.
Oh.
Or anything. Or Des. You know Des. Whatever you have, you. What do you?
You can drum, Des. Go ahead. I got too many tabs open to find any music.